This is really at the heart of the subject that is bothering you most. You see, you can give your kids this and that. You can get them an iPhone and an iPad. You can get them the Xbox. You can get them that and that and that and that and that. You can buy them the car. You can get them those things. And there's this feeling of maybe I'm overindulging them. Maybe I'm spoiling them. Maybe I'm setting them off on the wrong path. But the thing that we're wanting you to understand, that what you really are wanting to teach them is empowerment, is clarity, is focus, you see. When that's what you're really demonstrating. The other stuff is just a byproduct of your clarity. But you're also demonstrating your clarity. You can't get sick enough to help sick people get well, and you can't get confused enough to help somebody who's confused find clarity. And you can't get poor enough to help poor people become prosperous. You've got to get on that high-flying disc and demonstrate it for yourself. And we think that that's the sort of ripple that we were feeling within you when you first start, is that you don't want to be an inappropriate parent by satisfying all of their requests. And we say you can't be an inappropriate parent when satisfying their requests, provided you're tapped into the stream that is giving them the supply. But if you're not tapped into the stream and you're trying to supply them, then that's why it feels so off. Did you follow that?
Yes.
So then your kids start talking about this awesome dad who it seems like he can do anything. And you're demonstrating to them that you can pretty much accomplish anything. But you're also explaining to them, when you're in a state of confusion, that you're not very good at accomplishing. And excuse me, I'm going to go off and gain some clarity. In other words, you're teaching them. There's a big subject afoot in your mass consciousness, and we can feel it in this conversation and around the room and around the planet as we're having this conversation. And it's about what is the proper behavior? What's the right behavior? What's the right attitude for my kids should say please and thank you? What's the right behavior? How should I teach my kids to behave? And we say, that might be an important question, but it's not the first question to ask. The first question to ask is, how can I teach my kids how to be on the high-flying disc? And the answer to that is get on it yourself, because you can't teach it unless you're on it. And then you can have the conversation about behavior. Then you don't need it. Because now they're on the trajectory of love that they were born on, and now they're uplifting to others, and now the words that are coming out of their mouth are always uplifting, you see. But most people are banging around, bickering over the spoils. Banging around with these finite, these self-produced, flawed premise, finite piles of money, bickering over it, instead of understanding that there's infinite resources flowing into that never-ending pile. But you got to get into the right vibe before that flows through you. And when it does, you never again have a shortage conversation. You say, my kids never stop asking, and I've demonstrated to them that we're all plugged into this stream. And while I am a means through which some good stuff comes, I cannot buy clarity. My son came to me this morning and said, I need an iPhone and I would like a motorized vehicle and I also would like $20,000 worth of clarity. That we're making a very strong point. You can't buy that for them, but you can teach it to them. You can teach it to them by living it yourself. But you can't teach it to them until you've lived it yourself enough that it's just the trajectory that you're on, so that it just comes forth from you constantly. We have adored this conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah.